Yes, I understand you have a question. Who are your paper tanks? Now, I'll tell you everything. Paper's tanks. This is nostalgia with notes of the post-Soviet space. The game is inspired by tanks from a retro console. The military setting was taken as a basis and expanded the possibilities of the classic game. Here is a game with an unusual visual style. Everything here is presented in the form of drawings in a notebook. There are also stationary as shelters. And if it's even shorter, it's 2D tanks in a cool setting. In this video I will tell you how I implemented the main mechanics, or there's something else. If you go, maybe I will even record a video of how I got into this movement at all, how my path as a game maker began in general. The guys already had about half ready, but for so to speak, for their own reasons, they decided to remake the bots. In fact, for this they needed me. But since the bots, the controller, and in general the whole game was written by another programmer, I decided to redo everything. So, the first problem with the original is that everything is done in 2D. If someone is not fumbling, then there is no 2D as such in Unity. There is no 2D in Unity 3D, it's just a cropped 3D. And with 2D, a jerk-off immediately arises with the camera. It rotates on the wrong axis. Maybe it does not bother someone, but someone in the ass does not bother to work. So what am I talking about? Oh yeah, copy the original first made manage. I have separate questions for the programmer who wrote this system. Type, it seems to be written normally, but you look and just, man. The guy got worn out, and wrote 2 scripts for control. One for reading the buttons there, and the second for controlling the physics of motion, in which he wrote only 2 functions, each consisting of only 1 IFA. What for? Perhaps someone will say that this is correct, modular design, and I will say, shit, uncomfortable. Not only could it be done in 1 script, and save space. So it's also not fucking readable. I cannot open the script and understand what is happening. I need to open the script, look for a function, look for the script in which it is written, open it, and only then watch how it works. Don't do that. So, the control is ready, now we screw the input system to it. In short, it allows you to set up control both from the keyboard and from the gamepad in a couple of minutes. After the management, it was probably time to do what I was originally invited to the project for, to make bots. Bots have a default route along which they travel and, as it were, patrol the territory. But as soon as they notice the enemy, they begin to pursue him, and they follow him until the enemy is out of sight. By the way, bots do the same everywhere, even in AAA, even in an indie Parasha the bot lets out a raycast at the enemy, and if it hits, then the enemy is visible, if not, the no. Yeah, the only difference is in the number of raycasts in a couple of secondary conditions. So well, probably I'll make a couple more scripts for cutscenes and enough innovations for today. Now the camera just follows the object, that's all. And in cutscenes, as it were, it is necessary for the camera to move to some point, well, or to follow something. This has already been leveled by the designers. Let me think what and how I just make a script that, when activated, changes the priority of the main camera and forces it to follow the so-called marker. And when deactivated, it returns everything to its place.